What's happening, people? I hope you're all well. So Zhilei Zhang gets a stoppage victory over Joyce, and I think it happened in the sixth round. Joyce, he showed a lot of naivety in this fight. Zhilei Zhang. Now, obviously, you got the orthodox and the southpaw element to this fight. So often, the orthodox and the southpaw, you're battling for lead hand control. You're also trying to get your foot on the outside so that you have an exit point for when the straight left hand of the other fighter lands. So if you're orthodox, you want to have your foot on the outside to exit from the straight left hand, and if you're southpaw, you want to have your right foot on the outside to exit the straight right hand. And you can see them jostling for lead hand position in the first round. But the thing is with Joyce is he has the slow reaction times. So, he's got very slow reactions. So that wasn't a good combination for Zhilei Zhang's straight left hand. Zhilei Zhang's straight left hand is his money punch. He doesn't load up on it. He's not loading from all the way up there. He's just pulling it there. He's just pulling it there. He's just pulling it there. And Joyce, with his slow reaction times, was really unable to get out of the way. Orthodox fighters, Joyce isn't an out-and-out pressure fighter. It's hard to explain. He's a come-forward accumulation fighter, but he's not an out-and-out Derek Chisora style pressure fighter. But overall, orthodox fighters who like to swarm opponents have a harder time swarming southpaws because of the angles. So a lot of Joyce's advantages were negated by the southpaw stance of Zhilei Zhang. So Joyce likes to get all over opponents, and he's unloading these. He's not throwing the hard shots all the time, but he's just pumping those little punches. He's physically very strong, and sometimes he'll throw a hard one in there, and he just overwhelms his opponents. But he was unable to get into a rhythm and a flow of that because Zhilei Zhang's southpaw stance and the angles are all wrong and he's clashing. So he had to get through that lead hand, that southpaw lead hand. The southpaw lead hand out there, he's got to get past that to get his work done. And if he can't get past that, he's not able to get into his rhythm. So this was a real struggle for Joyce. Now, in the first round, I don't know what round it was, but Joyce's eye got bust up, and that was the reason. Eventually that got to the point where the rest of the fight, I don't know what punch caused that. I need to look back, but the eye started to close, which is really ironic because Joyce was the underdog going into the fight against Daniel Dubois, and he messed up Daniel Dubois' eye, and Daniel Dubois was stopped. On the other hand, here Zhilei Zhang was the underdog, and he bust up Joyce's eye, and then Joyce got stopped. But, it could have been a coincidence, I don't know. Now, the eye is the reason that Joyce got stopped. I'm surprised he didn't go for it more after the doctor's first inspection. But, that's one thing to discuss with this fight. The other thing to discuss with this fight is the lack of adaptation from Joyce. Joyce being an Olympic silver medalist, some would say Olympic gold medalist, without actually being given the gold medal. He was getting hit with these straight left hands. There are multiple things you can do to stop yourself getting hit with the straight left hands against a southpaw. You can either pivot to your left, so you can pivot to your left so that the straight left hand misses the target because you've gone through the exit point. You can put your guard up, or you can take a step back, or you can use head movement to move your head off the line. Joyce stood there with his, the I can take your best punch, give me your best punch. And to be fair, he did, but, he bust up his face and got stopped. He kind of just was happy to take it and then dish out his own. But the problem is Zhilei Zhang was very composed. He was very relaxed, and he weren't bothered with when the little punches from Joyce were coming. He was just keeping his guard up. He would use angles. He even used a bit of a shoulder roll at times, and it wasn't bothering him. And he was happy to just use quality over quantity, whereas Joyce was trying to apply quantity over quality. And overall, what happened in this fight also was Zhilei Zhang didn't seem to have... Joyce always seems very physically strong, but I think this was a combination of Joyce losing weight and Zhilei Zhang now fighting at a high weight, because Zhilei Zhang now fights at a higher weight than he used to, 270s, it actually negated the physical strength of Joe Joyce a bit. I didn't see a clear, distinct physical strength advantage for Joe Joyce in this fight. I didn't see it. I didn't see Joe Joyce being able to push Zhilei Zhang around. So that was another thing. But anyway, Zhilei Zhang gets the win. What's next for Zhilei Zhang? Are they going to run that back? Are they going to run that back? I think that's a stylistically bad fight for Joe Joyce, because as I told you right at the start of this video, it's very hard for the southpaw to, very hard for the orthodox pressure fighter to get into his rhythm against the southpaw. But let's see what happens anyway. Credit to both fighters. Let me know what you think. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, hit the notification bell so you get a notification when I make a new video, and I'll see you on the next video.